Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and I hope that you are enjoying this temporary channel due to the fact that the main channel is out of action due to operational difficulties. So I'm uploading videos onto this channel for now until the other channel is back in use, and then I'll be able to upload back onto that channel. This was due to the fact that I've actually uploaded something that caused the effect for the channel to be taken out of action. But I'm not going to mention anything that would likely damage the use of operating the channel. So, as you probably know, we are doing the 2A service, which was the Dudley to Russell's Hall circular that used to be the old Midland Red 272 when it used Leyland buses. Now, this was operated by National Express West Midlands from the Pensnet depot, and it started after the October half term. Well, during the October half term, or after that, and only lasted until the end of 2022 due to the fact that the service 2 provides a more of a direct link through the Russell's Hall estate alongside the number 5 route. But however, the number 5 is actually now run by Diamond Bus, so the only National Express West Midlands route that crosses Russell's Hall estate is the number 2, and of course there is still the number 6 that provides links down to Russell's Hall Hospital. So I hope you're all keeping yourselves well, guys, and just keep watching. We're at 959 on the other channel, but we're at 13 at the moment on this one. But hopefully, if we upload these videos by having different type of narrations in that is more relevant, then we would increase this channel to have higher amount of subscribers. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the journey. Okay then, guys, we're just by Coronation Gardens in Dudley. This was filmed last year in 2022, and we're now heading on to Stone Street, Priory Street, and this is also followed with the number 1 service from Dudley to Technal Wood, and the 27 and 27A from Dudley to Wolverhampton by Gornal Wood, and also the 17A from Dudley to Stourbridge by Gornal Wood. Now that spot there used to be where the Dudley Eye was, and if I was filming on the right hand side, you would have saw the Dudley Museum and Art Gallery. But however, as you know, this route here is now withdrawn completely due to the fact that the number 2 service carries on serving Russell's Hall estate, and even the Diamond number 5 and 5A services. So what's the point of running the 2A when you've got another route on the same corridor? So anyway, there's the turn off point when the number 5 goes. It then goes on to Wellington Road to then go onto Russell's Hall estate, but the 2A basically crossed Wolverhampton Street alongside the 27, 27A, 17A and the number 1, because the 17 now goes across the Broadway end and then comes out at Burton Road. That's how the 27 and 27A used to do. Before that, the 27 and 27A at first went across the Broadway and came out at Burton Road, and then went down the Didsdale end to go fast into Gornal Wood. Before that, it actually went around the Wren's Nest estate when the number 8 was rerouted to serve Wolverhampton, because that's when Pensnet got rid of the number 8 and gave it to Wolverhampton depot. And that was the same time when Pensnet gave the 17 from Wolverhampton depot to themselves, and because before the 17, when it was at Wolverhampton, it interworked with the 16 at Stourbridge. So I do apologise with the rain. And way before that, Wolverhampton used to do the 126 Birmingham to Wolverhampton direct through part of Albury, but they got rid of that route to Pensnet, and Pensnet shortened it to Dudley only. and Pensnet used to run the 140 from Dudley to Birmingham through Blackheath, but Wolverhampton took the running of that service and changed it to the X8 to replace the 126 section onto Wolverhampton. They also did their version of the 87 Dudley to Birmingham, but doing the Wolverhampton to Birmingham through Albury called the X7. But the X7 didn't last really long because due to the fact that the 87 started to use platinums and that was making more money. And the 87 has been operating for a good many years. And same with the 74 and quite a few routes across Dudley, but however the X7 was withdrawn in 2019 and then Wolverhampton Wolverhampton started to take over the number 8 while they gave the 17 to Pensnet. And then Pensnet got rid of the 12 and 12A and the 13, 13A for a short time due to obvious reasons, and they were given to their shared depot, West Brom, because basically Pensnet and West Brom used to share together on the 12 corridor and the 13 corridor. The 12 corridor is Dudley to Birmingham, 12 and 12A. The 13 runs from Albury to Birmingham, while the 13A from Blackheath to Birmingham. There was the 13B before, and that used to be the 129 that used to run from Dudley to from Birmingham to Maryhill via Blackheath, but that was withdrawn sadly because due to the poor patronage on the service, and that was replaced by the 24 route and now the 14A. So anyway, we're just coming on to Russell's Hall Estate. And then in 2021, West Brom got rid of the 12 and the 13 corridor to Pensnet only, and Pensnet got rid of the 7s to Wolverhampton to interwork it with their 82 service. But that only lasted a year and a half, because now Pensnet are back on the number 7 from Dudley to Wollaston Junction. Wolverhampton are just doing the 82, and they've got rid of the 27 and 27A to Diamond, and of course they've got rid of the nighttime 81 to Diamond buses with Bangor, which they won off NX's daytime contract. Is carrying on running their daytime service. So Wolverhampton has lost quite a few of the routes, and even Pensnet have. And now Pensnet are doing the 11, the 11A Dudley to Walsall, which were operated from Walsall Depot originally as their original depot when they did it as the 311 and the 313. And now with Pensnet on the 11, the 11A, meaning that Pensnet no longer operate the 12, the 12A, the 13 and the 13A, because they are now operated by West Bromwich Depot. So West Brom has the 12 corridor altogether now, even the 13 and the 13A. But however, the only tendered routes that NX Pensnet are carrying on running is the 14 the 14, I'm not sure if that's tendered. Well, the Fox Yards part is tendered. That's carrying on running, Fox Yards to Alzoin. 14A Dudley to Maryhill through Oakham, and the 24 from Dudley to Maryhill through the Sledmere and Brickhouse Farm. Those routes are still tendered for like a few more months or probably a few more years, and then they'll go up for tender. But however, I will not announce it at this current moment because they're still running as per now, and I will make the announcement when it's official. Pensnet no longer run the 19 for the 18 from Dudley to Maryhill through Cradley Heath, because that is now passed on to Diamond buses. And Pensnet have actually done that service for a good many years when it was the 243. And even Diamond used to do the Sunday contract, and now they're doing it full time now, the 18. And they're now doing the 17 full time from when it used to be the 257. But that is run from Tividale Depot, and that is really great to see Tividale come back to Stourbridge on a full daytime service, since they used to do the 298 and 299. way before Hanson's took them over, and of course the 142 before Central buses took it over. So it's good to see Tibberdale back in Stourbridge, and also Kidderminster up Dudley, because as you know, Kidderminster used to do some Dudley work under first, and of course they did the one trip on the 276, along which the 7 used to be numbered up to Dudley. It did one trip up to Maryhill. It drove empty to Maryhill, started the 276 up to Dudley, and then full trip to Stourbridge. It did not go down to Wollaston Junction like the 7 did, like the NX1 did. And then it went on to the 288, which is now a custom operator, now run by a custom operator, the 88. Before that, it was changed to the 10A and 10C by not serving North Estate, run by NXWN.
With the Beatles song title, the Yellow Submarine.
And then after that 288, the route then went on to the 227 to Kinver, which is now the Select Bus Service 242. Before Select did the service, it was run by the Green Bus Company, and they did it to help out during the they went to help out on the 228 as the 242 during a very different time, and they helped because it was critical for the 228 because it was every 2 hours, and of course the route was loss making, so that meant the 228 could no longer be sustainable to operate, meaning it was going to be withdrawn completely, leaving Kinver without a frequent bus service, because the only bus service Kinver would have had was the 580 service to Kidderminster, and that only runs 3 days a week and 2 trips a day, and at the time that was operated by Coniston Coaches. That's now operated by Diamond Bus once again, because Coniston Coaches stopped operating in 2020. They gave away the 15A, 15C, the S15, 294 and 296 to Astons. But however, Coniston carried on the Astley Berth Circular 213 and the 133 Droitwich and the 580 Kinver. But then the Dial-A-Ride took over the 213 to Astley Berth. Finesse that do the Droitwich to Redditch, the 354, gate onto the 133. And then Diamond Buses took over the 580 because one company was going to take it over. But apparently, due to operational difficulties, they had to cancel it at last minute, and that was Bridgnorth Bus and Coach. But sadly, they had a lot of operational difficulties. I know they've got an Optare Solo. Well, as you know, I have seen that Optare Solo around in Stourport doing a work shuttle. They were going to use a bus for that route, but apparently, due to the fact that Bridgnorth Bus and Coach couldn't do the 580, so they had to pass it back to. Diamond, and Diamond Buses carried on with the service, and they've used a variety of different buses like an Optare Solo, a Dennis Start, an ADL Enviro 200, a Volvo B7RLE Plaxton Centro body, an Optare Versa, an Optare Solo SR, and of course a Volvo B7RLE with a Rider Eclipse Urban body. And of course there has been a Metro City on that route as well. So there's been a Metro City on the route, there's been Street Light as well, there's been a Street Light. So there's been loads of different buses on that route. And because that route is just not a set route really, it's just like a bit of everything on the 580. But I know it's really great to have the Optares on it, because due to the fact they're built for country lanes. And of course, yeah, they did have them little mini buses on the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter Cities that they used for the DRT service in Bromsgrove, but that's now been taken back to Redditch Depot. Now I'm looking at doing the DRT soon. I'm going to give you some talk about it at some point, which goes Bromsgrove bus station to the train station, where you can just book it on an app, and then one will come up. And of course, at first it was free at launch, but now it's chargeable. So it's chargeable now, that route, that bus service. Well, it's not a service, it's actually that special bus trip. So it's a bit like calling for an Uber but cheaper. So there's been the DRT in Bromsgrove, and if you remembered, last year Diamond bought Clarabelle's out in Sutton Coldfield Way, and they changed a lot of the routes. A lot of the routes were up for tender, so most of the routes went to National Express West Midlands, while the rest joined Diamond buses. Like the 94 didn't really last long with Diamond because due to the fact it was running in front of the NXWM 94, which is the Birmingham to Chelmsley Wood route, and they used the Clarabelle's Pulsars, but the Clarabelle's Pulsars have now come over the Dudley Way, doing the service 002, which is the Merry Hill to Wheely Castle, along with the Diamond, along with the 229 service that runs to Bilston. So there has been loads of different type of buses on that route, so it's nice to see the Clarabelle's Pulsars around the Dudley Way rather than being on their routes. And of course they did run at one time the 75 that ran from Sutton Coldfield to Birmingham International Interchange close to Birmingham Airport, sadly. But however, the most interesting thing, they integrated it with the Tamworth 6 and 6A, which are run from the Tamworth outstation, and they changed it to a 76. They did have the 15 to Hurley, but they changed that to the 76B. So that route is carried on, and I'm hoping to travel on that service at some point, the 76, to Tamworth, because I know now that Diamond provide a link between Tamworth and Sutton Coldfield alongside the Arriva 110. They did have the X16 that went from Birmingham to Tamworth, but that had to stop because due to low passenger numbers. It had got suspended 2 years ago due to obvious reasons, but it got reinstated, and now it's withdrawn totally. And then later, shortly after the purchase from Clarabelle's, they started to take over Henley and Arden base Johnson's XL bus, but that did not include the coaches. The coaches remained unchanged. So the bus work were all acquired for the Redditch depot. So the 150 service that ran from Redditch to Birmingham was shortened to King's Heath only because the 50 provides the link to Birmingham from the Maypole and King's Heath end, and that's run by both Diamond and National Express. And of course the 149 to Worcester. Now Redditch now do a Worcester service alongside Kidderminster, and of course they've taken over. They did have the Stratford upon Avon work, a lot of them. They even went further to Chipping Norton and also further down to Banbury as well. And that would have made better sense if it was taken over by the South East network, because Banbury is basically in the Thames Valley, and maybe the South East could have taken over the Banbury work. But however, they were up for tender on behalf of Warwickshire County Council, because I know there was cuts going on within those areas due to low passenger numbers. The X20 that ran from Stratford to Coventry with 2 hours of fun, that got shortened. Diamond carried on running the X20 between Coventry and Solihull, while the Stratford section was tendered by Warwickshire County Council and was taken over by a rival operator, Stagecoach Warwickshire. Stagecoach had all the Stratford routes that were all off Diamond. The only Diamond route that comes to Stratford now is the X19, and that runs on Sundays alongside Stagecoach. And then later, Stagecoach had expanded up to Solihull to take over the 87s, 88s, and also the last part of the X20, and renumbered it back to the 82. So I'm glad they've got all those routes, and now they've come to take over a lot more work in Solihull. They've taken over the 169, which used to be the 69 to Brandwood Park, and they've also taken over even more routes across Solihull. they've also taken over routes across to the QE Hospital
just right there. So
from National Express West Midlands, and have even been further up to up towards Sutton Coldfield. So Stagecoach has grown rapidly over the last 2 years, and I'm so glad that Stagecoach have made a good expansion. I am a massive fan of Stagecoach, as well as Diamond Buses, NX and Arriva, and all the independent operators. So I'm so glad that they've made a massive improvement regarding to bus services, because without Stagecoach expanding, most services would end up being withdrawn, because due to the fact, but however that will turn out not to be the case, because I know NX got rid of a lot of the routes. They were going to end up getting rid of the 10A and 10C completely, but however they put it up for tender and changed it to the 88 that goes Stourbridge to Norton like the old 288 did, and that's run by a custom operator. 17H is now back with Diamond Buses. The 2A was not up for tender because they just closed that route completely, because due to the fact more routes serve the area, so what's the point of putting it up for tender? Because basically the two other routes really killed it off, because no one wanted to use the service. But however, luckily I managed to do this, and this is the farewell. I was going to have it on the original channel, but I didn't have enough time. But sadly, since that channel's currently off at the moment, I'm having to upload it onto this channel. So I've put it on this channel for the time being. I'll let you know when I'm back on the main channel, once them strikes have been, because it's like the channel's currently out of action at the moment. I'll let you know when I'm back on the main channel within a week or two, and I'll say that I'm not going to mention anything that could damage the channel really well, because I do not want to get any more strikes and get the channel deactivated, because the channel needs to be with us, because Joe's Bus Train Plan Lift Adventures needs to carry on as always. But however, I have got other channels, because I changed them from Wilco Planet Vlogs onto this one, so we can still keep going with this amazing channel, because I know this channel is very important. Joe's Bus Train Plan Lift Adventures is one of the best channels. So anyway, we're just now coming into Dudley, so hope you enjoyed the circular on the 2A. So the next one I'm going to upload is the 24, but it's going to have some new narration added into it. All these videos are all going to have brand new narration, so they're all going to have brand new narration. So I do apologise that I had to update these videos with better amendments, because due to the fact that I couldn't upload them properly on the main channel, because due to the fact that I've mentioned something that violates the channel. But now the channel is being back on. Well, I'm using the temporary channel at the moment, but I will be back to the normal channel once this the ban is lifted, because I'm currently banned from uploading videos onto the main channel, so I have to use a temporary channel for the time being. So you could subscribe to this one. It's the same as the other one, Joe's Bus Train Plan Lift Adventures, and of course be notified to subscribe. So hit the bell, click the subscribe button below, and I hope that you enjoy this video. So once again, do apologise I couldn't do it in the proper way, but I'm still going to carry on just getting these videos right, so we don't make any more mistakes, so we can still keep up the hard work that we've done on the channel. So don't worry, we will get there, and we will be back to normal. We will bounce back within a week or two, and then we'll get the channel back. And when we get it back, we're not going to mention any more rubbish. We're going to just mention about the buses, because anything that's related that's not part of the channel could likely get a suspension on the channel. So I do not want to have my channel taken down. It will not be the way forward for myself. So it will not be the way forward. So anyway, we're just by the Churchill shopping precinct. Just gone under the footbridge. So there used to be the BT's departmental store, House of Fraser Dudley. It's now a branch of Iceland. And over there is the French Chip Eden, known as the Birdcage. As you probably know, used to do my vlogs here every Friday. Used to do my vlogs here every Friday up Dudley with my friends. Sadly, that had to come to an end due to obvious reasons in 2020, which I'm not going to mention because I don't want this channel to be scrapped as well. So I did some good vlogs, went to the fish and chip shop,
This is it.
and I know one of them had copyright music in, but I know that I'm not allowed to add music on the channel because I do not own music, because it's music that's owned by someone else, because I could get into a lot of danger for that. So anyway, welcome back to Dudley. Hope you enjoyed the 2A. Anyway, there's the Farm Foods, the old CNA building, and thank you for watching. Look after yourselves. I will be back on the main channel very, very soon. So I'll let you know when I'm back on the main channel, because I'll make the announcement on the main channel when that's back in use. Thanks. Bye for now.